Hey guys, it's Kat. I hope you can hear me. I'm not putting a microphone on because it is late at night and I can't be bothered, but I am finally filming my Project Pan update for December. Holy bugger. So this video is pretty late. I'm well aware. We're almost at Christmas and I haven't done my check-in. Look, I've been putting it off because I've lost 2 items. I discussed this in a live chat just last night when I'm filming this, and I was talking about how I can't for the life of me find my eyeliner and my lip gloss. I don't know where they are. I thought my lip gloss was in my handbag. It's not. I thought my eyeliner was with my other Project Pan stuff. It's not. I did move my makeup desk, which involved taking everything out of the drawers. I did declutter a couple of things and then I reassembled everything in another room of the house. So there might have been things that got lost in that move. I'm not sure. I've also gone to my mum's house and spent the night, a couple of nights. She lives sort of far away, so we've spent a couple of nights there. Might have left something there. I'm not sure. So this check-in I've been putting off because I've been like turning the house upside down looking for a damn lip gloss and a damn eyeliner, and I haven't found it. So I thought I'll do the check-in, and if I find it by the finale of the Project Pan, I'll give you an update then, but right now they're MIA. So the things I'm missing, my Pixi pencil liner, which was up to this last time, and also my Bite lip gloss, which I was weighing, and this was it last time. I don't know what it's up to now. It is what it is. Since this is the last update before the finale, so the finale I'll do probably early January, which is only a couple of weeks away, I thought I would just clarify that next year I will be doing a similar Project Pan. So if you do want to join in, we'll have the spreadsheet available so you can keep track of your progress. And it's just going to be like hashtag Team Project Pan. So if you want to go ahead with it, if you want to tweak it, go for it. The way that we, or Haley and I, who started this type of Project Pan, the way we like to do it is pretty much do a full face of makeup, some skincare, hair care, body care, nails if you want. And you sort of just use the products throughout the year and refresh them every quarter. So if you don't like something, you take it out, replace it with something else. Haley did express that she wants to do something slightly different where she completely refreshes things quarterly. So like 4 mini Project Pans. Whatever, we're still going to use a hashtag. So if you want to join in and use a hashtag, go for it. But you can twist it and do it however you want. Project Pans are flexible and they're up to you. So I'm going to be doing something similar to this next year, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit in the sense that I'm going to be doing my own or a different sort of lip project, which I'll talk about next year. So I probably won't have many lip products besides maybe a lip balm or something. And also I want to split this into 2 projects where I have sort of everything and then I have some palettes, because I really enjoyed panning my blush palette this year. I will show you the progress very soon. So this sort of inspired me to maybe be a little bit more ambitious. So I have earmarked 2 palettes that I want to try to hit pan on. My goal is sort of 1 pan every month next year. So 12 pans I want to hit over 2 palettes. And then I also want to work on another face palette. So yeah, I might have my own sort of like Project Pan palette version for next year as well. So it's definitely continuing next year. And if anything, it's expanding. So there's that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the progress for December. Since I did leave it a little bit longer than normal, I have got quite a lot of progress, which is great. I am actually going to be rolling in a couple of things, which is stupid because I've only got a month left of this project, but sort of like testing the waters for next year's Project Pan. So I'm sort of testing out a few things for that. But what I like to do is I start by telling you the products that I've used up. I go on to the products that I've made progress on and then talk about the products I've made no progress on and why. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm really not messing around when I tell you I've used up some products. Firstly, I want to say I am so proud of myself. I lost a lid, but that's all right. Who cares about the lid? I used up my 2 base products. Now I had 2, they've been in my Project Pan like all year. So I've had 1 sort of BB cream and 1 full coverage foundation, which I've been mixing together because they work well together. And as you can see by the marks on this one, I have used it pretty much all goddamn year. It started up here and it took me that long to use it up. Now, if it wasn't for a pandemic and having a baby, this would have been used up a lot faster. But with masks and having a newborn that I couldn't even separate from him to go to the toilet, let alone do my makeup. So this just took a lot longer than usual. But I have since used it up. It looks like there's a little bit down the bottom, but I can't pump it out. When I pump it, nothing comes out. So I figure it's done. I could get in there and scrape it out, but I don't love it that much. So I'm not going to do that. But as you can see, this is completely, look, that's pretty much like paper thin. There's nothing there. So I've completely used up this one as well. It did take me quite some time, but they're done. They're absolutely done, which I'm excited about. Now, I'm not going to roll in another liquid foundation. Right now, I am testing a few to see which ones I want to focus on to use up next year. I do still have a powder foundation in here, and I'm dedicated to the cause to use it up by the end of the project in a few weeks' time. So I will update you on this in a second, but that is my main focus now. So I don't want to be blinded by any liquids. I just want to go powder, 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 powder. Let's get it done. Speaking of powder, I actually introduced this last month and I used it up. So this is the Rimmel Transparent, what is it called? Stay Matte Powder. I used one of these up in my project pan previously. I do also want to mention that next month when I do the finale, I will give you a recap of everything I've used up in this project because I like to do that. It sort of keeps you motivated to start the next one. It's sort of like, I used up 40 items, and that's crazy. That's crazy. So, I find that really hard to do any other way unless I'm focusing on them in a project and sort of holding myself accountable. So I will do a recap of that in January as well. But this is the second pressed powder of this type that I've used up, and I will have a photo on the screen of where I was up to last month. So I did introduce it when it had already hit pan, and I have been using it a lot. Firstly, I've been going out more than I have at all this year because lockdown has lifted it in Melbourne. Also, I am quite oily. It is summer and it is hot. So I have been using powder and I used it up. So that's great. I will introduce a powder that I'm going to be working on next year. It's a pressed powder, not pressed powder. It's the opposite. It's a loose powder. It is late. I don't know what's going on. Now the reason I'm focusing on this one, I really like this powder. But the reason I'm introducing it is just because it's one of my oldest powders. So it's the Too Faced Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder. I really like this powder. I think it's a really nicely finely milled powder. You get heaps in it. It's 35 grams. So compared to this, which was, this is actually 14 grams. This is 35 grams. So it's 3 times bigger, but I also use less of this. So it will last longer. It will go for quite some time. I have used a bunch of it. I don't know if you can see here. I will weigh it, but you can pretty much see that when I put it to the side, I've used up pretty much half. So I do think this will take me quite a few months. It'll take me pretty much all of summer at least to use it. And again, I really like this. It's just that it's one of my oldest powders that are open in my drawer. So I figure may as well use it up. One thing I used up just yesterday, the day before, whatever, was my Clarins Lip Oil in the scent Raspberry. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I do have 2 lines. When I introduced it, it was up to there. Then it went down to that light blue line, and then I really went crazy with it. Hopefully you can see that a bit better there, but there's the 2 lines and where it's up to now. So there we go. There is a tiny bit down the bottom. I just can't reach it. I did take out the stopper, which is why the packaging has gone all grubby, because the stopper is not stopping the product from leaking out when it's on its side. So I did take the stopper out just a few days ago and tried to been storing it on the side and trying to get the last bit. Now it looks like the progress has really picked up, and I have been using it a lot more, partly because I don't know where my lip gloss is. So I have been using this instead and exclusively, whereas previous months I've been using sort of lip gloss and this. But also, if you remember when I introduced this, I thought that was the settle line at the top, but when I actually had it settling for a lot longer, after marking it, it actually settled above that top line. So I have been making pretty good progress each month, and I consider this done. Now, because I've got no lip products in here, because I've lost a lip gloss and I've used up that lip oil, I am actually introducing the lip product that I'm wearing today. I really like it, and I've had it in my handbag for the longest time. It's always my go-to lip product if I'm going out. Maybe my lip product has worn off or I forgot to apply something and I just reach for this. It's by Revlon and it's the Ultra HD Gel Lip Color, and this is in the shade 710 Desert, and I really like this. The only reason I'm deciding to actually focus on it is because I like wearing it every day. It sort of suits most makeup looks. Like, as you can see, it looks quite just glossy, nude-ish, suits everything. And I was wearing it, had it next to my computer, and I was like, I'll put it on. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to focus on this. I like it enough to wear it every day. It's sort of a color that I can use every day. And it is getting old. I've had this for years, so before it gets funky, let's use it up. And then I actually wound this up to look at it for this project pan, and I realized that is it. Can you see like how little is left? Which is crazy. The fact that this is not a lip product that I have been targeting to use up, and I have pretty much used it up anyway, shows that it's a product that I like using, because I've got so many tinted lip balms, I've got so many lipsticks, so many glossy lipsticks, so many lip glosses. The fact that this is nearly done, okay, it shows that it's old and that it's been in my handbag and I do rely on it, but it also shows that it's a nice product that I keep going back to. So I thought this was perfect when I realized that, because I can probably use it up by next month. So my goal is, since I lost the lip gloss somewhere, instead I will focus on this and I will aim to get this done by next check-in, which will only be like 3 weeks away. And I think I'll be able to do it because it's a beautiful product. So that's 4 products, but I've still got more to talk about. So I used up my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This was a mini, like a travel pack size. I think I got it in a travel pack. So it was 15 mils, so I thought this was easy to use up, but I used it a lot slower than I thought, partly because I think it was a little bit more thicker and sort of moisturizing than I expected. And it just sort of felt like more layers that I didn't really need, especially when I was using things like BB cream that's quite like emollient and dewy, I guess. I found this to be a little bit too much. So I only use this occasionally. I did sometimes use it on my hands. So I didn't, I used it up. So now that's done, I am actually going to roll in another thing. And I did mark this. And again, I've just been looking through my drawers because I did sort of have to move all my makeup and everything. So I got to sort of reassess the things that I have. And I pulled out this Fasali Unicorn Essence. Now, when I had a look at it, I don't know if you can see, I marked it with the nail polish I'm currently wearing. It is down here. So I feel like I could potentially use this in a month. And if not, I could just roll it over to next year. But I've been happily using this. I don't think it does much to the skin. It's got a really nice sort of vanilla scent to it, which is like, oh, the experience is nice, which, you know, would I spend this money on experience? Probably not. But because it is quite light and it's more of an essence rather than like a thicker cream product, I do find that on my oily skin in summer, it's quite refreshing and it sits well under makeup. Like, it doesn't feel like an extra layer that my foundation slips on top of. It just feels like it's, I don't know, a vanilla scent that I put on my face, which, you know, is it necessary? No. But can I use it up? Yes. Second last thing. Yeah, I've used it up a lot. So, you know, this was delayed, but I was still making progress, so that's good. This is a spray. It's like a, what do you call it? A spray. Water mist. It's by BioEffect and it is the OSA Water Mist. Now, I did introduce this only a month ago. There wasn't much in it. I didn't mark it. I did think I weighed it. Now, I don't know if you can hear that. I've got product left in it, but it's so goddamn hard to use. Firstly, it's a spray, so you can't really like spray it upside down. I just dropped it. I can't spray it upside down like this. It's not very functional. But what I don't like about this, so there's only really like a little bit left in here, but because this doesn't have a tube that runs all the way down and picks up product from the end, it's just got a little tube and it relies on you pumping out the air. Look, like it's just not doing anything. Relies you on pumping out the air so the water gets pushed up and it hits the top and you spray that out. It's all well and good in theory, but it doesn't work. This just keeps filling up with air and you can never get that little bottom bit up to the top. So you end up having to like sit there for like 10 minutes trying to get the air out of this stuff. So just watch me try to get the air out of this stuff. Trying. So you're like, okay, we're pumping out the air. It's getting thinner, sort of. No, it's just not even worth the fucking hassle. So, yeah, that's why there is still some liquid left in here that I can't get out. You can squeeze out the air and then try it. Oh, and then you get a squirt. So, oh, there we go. So, effort, and then of course you let it rest. Oh, it's leaking everywhere. My God. So you let it rest, and then all it does is just fills up with air again, and it's a nightmare. So I figured, even though there's a little bit left in there, I'm done. I'm done with it. You're dead to me. You can go away. And I'm going to replace that with something that I really enjoy, but the packaging is a little bit faulty, and it's my own fault. The packaging's not faulty. It broke. I broke it. So I had this MAC Fix Plus at the back of a drawer, and when I was reorganizing my drawers, I've got like a setting spray, primer sort of drawer, and this got jammed at the back, and this always burns me. I don't know why I do this every time. Something gets jammed. Instead of actually like trying to like delicately figure out what it is, I just pull the drawer, and I just sort of broke this a bit. It sort of looks like it's fine now. I think I might have clicked it back into place, but when I tried to use it, it was just like not working. So I was like, okay, I may as well use this as best as I can. It seems like it's working fine now, but I sort of thought I'll use it the best as I can because I've sort of damaged the packaging. But the more I use it, the more it sort of works fine. So whatever, I've got my sight set on it. I can clearly mark this because it's clear. It's easy to see. I'll mark it with nail polish, easy. And again, I've been using this happily. I love Fix Plus. I like it as a skincare step. I like it as a base to makeup. I like it to finish makeup. It's just a really nice, versatile product. I like it to, if you want to dampen eyeshadows, this is a great product. I love the scent of it. I want this in a fragrance. MAC, make this into a fragrance. I'll just like... Oh, it's like lemonade icy poles from your canteen. If you went to school and had a canteen and had lemonade icy poles. That's what it reminds me of. I love it. I think it's great. So I'll happily use this. It's great in summer. I tend to go quite ham with these sort of hydrating sprays in summer. So we'll see how I go. And if I don't finish it next month, I'll carry it over to the next project and we're all good. So that's what I'm focusing on. Last empty, it's not quite empty, but it's good enough because I'll probably use it tonight, is my Soap and Glory No Woman No Dry body butter. I don't like the scent of this, so even though it was a fairly new body butter to me, I'm like, I have to use it up because it smells. I just don't like it. It's strong and it's annoying, and this is why you don't buy scented things online, because often you get disappointed. And if you're very sensitive to scents, and some scents give you headaches like they do me, don't take the risk. But anyway, you can see this is nearly empty. Last time I had about a third left. So I think I've had this in my project pan for about 3 months and I've been using about a third each time. The way I was using it was pretty much lathering almost like arms, torso, legs, maybe like twice a week when I could handle the scent. I was just like, let's just put it on everywhere and let's get this shit done. Whereas what I've decided to do this time around, which works a lot better, and it's why I've got a little bit left, I've decided to put it next to my bed, and before I go to bed, I put a little bit on my feet and on my hands. And I feel like on my extremities, like it's far away from my nose and it's not offensive, but I also like to put a lotion on my feet before I go to bed. So that's how I've been using it, and I've been using it happily. Still not my favorite. I still don't like the scent. But I reckon tonight that will be gone. So I may as well consider that an empty because I'm not going to hold on to this tub for another 3 weeks to show you that a fraction of it has gone. That's silly. Now I won't be replacing that with anything just yet because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to focus on next year for body products. So I will give myself 3 weeks to figure that out. All right, now on to updates of things that are still going. But I do have some good progress on them. Now, I think I may as well start with this because this is what everyone wants to see. So since this is a very popular thing that people want to see the progress of, it is the thing that sort of sparked my idea of doing an eyeshadow palette or two and a new face palette next year. So that's why I'm going to do a separate like palette project because I've really enjoyed panning this, and I know a lot of people have been curious about the progress. So I'll show it to you really quickly and then I will zoom in, but pretty much you can see almost 5 pans are pretty much gone. All right, let's start with the top side of the palette, and you can see compared to the photo from last month, I've made a lot of progress on this. So this is what I'm focusing on. This is what I want done by the end of the project. So as long as this is done, I'm happy getting rid of this palette. I really don't love these shades. These don't really suit me. They're a little bit dark. So I have delved into that a tiny bit, but not enough to hit pan. So I really want this sort of matte, sort of peachy shade done, which I'll easily do. And then I'm good as gold. So that is nearly done. And then if I go down the bottom, you'll see that last month, this one was pretty much at that stage. So I used that up, I used up really fast, and then I moved on to that one. So you can see that these 5 are pretty much almost done. It was 3 blushes and 2 highlighters, so it wasn't 5 blushes. I have had a few people ask how I've made such good progress on this, and I just wanted to point out that these aren't super pigmented. So for example, if I go this shade here, you can put it on and it's pretty like, look, it's not super pigmented. So same as like even this color that's really bright, it's just not very pigmented. So this palette is pretty easy to use up because I can dip into this and layer it a couple of times every time I use it. So I would get a big fluffy brush, not big, but a fluffy brush, apply some, and then I would even go back again and put a second or even a third layer because they just aren't that pigmented. Like if I was to get this one that I've been using and get quite a lot of it on my finger, you'll see that it's just, look, it's not very pigmented. So it's been really easy to use this particular palette up because it isn't super pigmented. So yeah, people look at this and be like, oh, I've been trying to hit pan on a blush for 2 years and I can't use it up. What's your secret? And the secret is these just aren't that pigmented. It is Tarte formula. It's the Amazonian clay blush palette. It's a color wheel. But from what I remember when this released, the formula is actually different from their single blushes. So if you've tried the single blushes and yours are like particularly pigmented, these aren't that pigmented. I can use quite a lot every time I use it. And especially if I layer a bit of highlighter on it and gives a bit of a sheen, it doesn't look super clownish because they just aren't that pigmented. So again, I can't get this progress on all blushes. Blushes take ages to use up. It's just that I fluked with these ones that they just are very easy to layer and wear a lot of. I also made some decent progress on my Jouer highlighter duo. So again, I was focusing on just one shade of this. I will probably focus on the other shade next year, but this shade is a light one and I wanted to get this used up because I dropped things. So yeah, I wanted to focus on this particular shade because it wasn't really, it was a little bit too light for me. So I wanted to use it up sort of in winter. I'm so close to using it up. There is a photo on the screen. I'll zoom in and show you this a bit closer, but essentially what happened last check-in, this was just around the rim, and then it was really hard to use. So I broke it up. I repressed it in the center with some isopropyl alcohol, pressed it with a paper towel, and I've been using it that way. So I will also have photos on the screen of what it was like before I repressed it and also after I repressed it. So I did that sort of midway through the month. And now I have actually worn down that little lump quite a lot. So I will zoom in and show it to you compared to when I first pressed it. All right, so hopefully you can see there that there's really not much left. That's thinning down a lot. You can even see it's starting to wear away. So that's only a few applications left. As soon as I use this up, I'm gonna move on to that, and that's probably gonna be my bronzer for the new year. But my goal is to get this completed by the end of the project. All right, while I'm zoomed in, I thought I'd give you an update on the Kevyn highlighter that it's the Neo highlighter in the shade Sahara. So it's got pretty much 3 shades ombreed through. I mainly hit sort of halfway between the first and second shade. So that's sort of what I'm wearing, and it's what I'm wearing This is what I'm wearing now. You can see it's like, I'm under studio lights. It's like fucking 11:30 at night. But you can see it's beautiful. It gives like a sheen to the face, not like a glitter chunks or anything. So that's what I've mainly been using. You probably won't see any progress, but I am getting a bit of a dent in there. Now, I'm not too sure if I'm going to carry this over next year so I can start hitting pan, or if I'm going to just have highlighters in my face palette that I'm panning. I'm not sure yet, but I'll just keep going for the next month and we'll reassess in January. All right, while we're up close and personal, may as well show you my Illamasqua eyeshadow in the shade Justify. I have made a bit of progress. I'm not going to use this by the end of the month. There's no way. But the pan is getting bigger. Hopefully you can see from last month. I have used this as a bit of like a contour shade a couple of times. Contour shades always make my face look dirty. I much prefer like a warmer bronzer, so I don't use this too much, but that is how I've made the pan a bit bigger, if that makes sense. If I really want to contour a lot, maybe I'll get this used by the end of the project, but I really don't see any chance of that. So yeah, we'll just keep going. All right, I've seen some good progress on my Super Shock shadow from Colourpop. This is in the shade Stargirl. I have worn this quite a few times. You can see there is a big difference from last month's check-in, but the main difference is this is starting to dry out. So when I do apply, it sort of starts getting a bit flaky. Now I could mix this with something like Duraline, but I don't want to. I don't want this to like be prolonged any longer, like it's getting old. So I thought what I'll just do is just apply it. If it flakes off a bit, it is what it is. But my goal is to use this by the end of the project. It's a big ask because there's still quite a lot of product around the sides, but we'll see how I go. No matter what I do, I'll probably get rid of this at the end of it because it's drying out. So there's that. All right, MAC Gel Eyeliner. There's no way I'm going to use this by the end of the year, but you can see that there is a little bit of progress from last month. Again, look, I am wearing a lot more makeup than I have been the last few months, but I've been wearing a lot of pencil liners, so just something really easy. So this one I don't use as much, but I will just see how much I use. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, I've got my Laura Mercier Caviar stick in Au Naturel. I pretty much use this as my eyeshadow base every time I do my makeup. And I also use this when I'm not wearing makeup or much makeup, and I just use it to sort of blank out the eyelid because I do have dermatitis on one of my eyelids. So this sort of covers it. So I'll show a photo from last check-in. I have been making progress. I probably could use this up by the end of the project. This will break off soon enough because it is sort of loose at the base, but I am using it at a pretty good rate, so I could use this. We'll see. All right, something that I will definitely use up by the end of the project is my Nabla eyebrow pencil. This is in the shade Jupiter. You can see that's fully wound out. There's just the tiniest bit left. And on the screen, you'll see where I was up to last month. I've been pretty much predominantly using this or exclusively using this in my brows. So yeah, I've been making some really great progress there. Last thing I thought I'd show you close up is my fragrance mini. So this is from DKNY, and last time I introduced it, it was up to there, and now it's down to here. So I will mark it, but I've made some decent progress. If I keep going the way I've been going, I can probably use this all by next month. Personally, I don't love this. It's too strong. It's a bit overpowering. So I have been struggling to use this. And I also have been struggling a little bit to use this sort of method of application. So it's just like a little pour-y thing. So sometimes I overpour, sometimes I underpour. It is just hard. It's not my everyday sort of preferred method of perfume application. So yeah, it's just inconsistent and annoying. So I'm glad that this is nearly done. Hooray, my face is back. It's actually very awkward being off to the side and be like, but you do what you do. Okay, I've got two more things to update you on. Firstly, the BareMinerals Blemish Remedy Powder Foundation. I've been using this a lot. I've either been using it to set my base or just on its own. I did take out, there was a little mesh in there. I pulled it out because I just wanted easier access to the powder. I do have quite a bit of powder left in it. Not heaps, like if I hold it up, it's like just like maybe the bottom quarter, maybe. So I feel like if I can access this a lot better and I can get my like beauty blender, stick it in and like dab it on as foundation, I think I can use this up really quickly. So my goal is to use this up by the end of the year. I like using it just on quick low makeup days. I do have a lot of redness in my skin, so I like to use something to just cover it. And if I'm just going to the shops or going to the park, I do like to use something like this. So I enjoy using it, which is good. The last thing is my mascara, and I do have to weigh this to show you the difference. I'm glad I'm getting rid of all the things that need weighing because I hate weighing things. I find it really annoying. All right, so this was at 13.58 grams. It's now at 12.9293 grams. So I am making some progress. I am using this. I do need to apply like 2 or 3 coats to get enough length that I want on the top lash line. I feel like this is a lot better as a lower lash line mascara. I just don't know what I'm going to do with this in the new year. Clearly this is going to keep going. I don't know if I just take it out of the project, swap it out for a mascara that I can use on my top lashes, or if I exclusively use this on my lower lash line. Is that too excessive, like using 2 mascaras? I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't mind it, but it's a bit of work to get the volume that I desire when I'm wearing makeup. When I'm just wearing a little bit of powder foundation and throwing something through my brows and just put a bit of mascara on, this is a nice mascara because it does define the lashes, separate the lashes, lengthen them slightly, but it doesn't look too overpowering for a low makeup look. So I do like it for that instance, but I don't do that enough to pan it, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if I take this out. So if you've got any suggestions on what to do, whether I get it out and use something that I'm going to use more regularly, I can do that. Otherwise I can keep it in. I'm not too sure. All right, so those are the full size products or the bigger products that I have in my project pan. But every month, instead of skincare this time around, I've been using samples, and I want to update you on samples. I did some good things with samples, I did some bad things with samples, so it's a bit of a mixed bag this month. I did mention that because some of them are like deluxe sample size and not just sachets, I probably won't finish everything, and that rings true. I didn't finish everything. I'm going to carry it over and add a couple of things in. All right, so for sachets, I did use up. So these weren't that surprising because they're either one use or a few use ones. So I've got the Antipodes Manuka Honey eye cream. I use that up. I use that on my as a face moisturizer. New Face Prep and Glow. It's a sort of just a cleansing wipe. Use those easily. Used a face mask. I did put 2 face masks in, but I don't know where the other one went. So it disappeared. It disappeared. This month is the month of losing things. I did use a different sheet mask because I was like, oh, because I lost that one, I'll put another one in. I don't even think I brought that with me. I think that's in my empties basket. So I did use 2 face masks, but yeah, whatever. I've got one here. I used up the, what are these? Sacha Pure Restorative Conditioning Mask and Healing Shampoo. I like these. I used these in a previous month. These sachets contain 52 mils, so I used it pretty much all month. So that was done. I did use up a few of these sort of bottle-y type things. So I had this little essence from V10 Plus. It was like a, what do you call it? Vitamin C serum. I used that up. I used the snail serum from Napoleon Purtis. That one was half filled for some reason and it was unused. It was brand new from a box and it was half used up. I don't know what's going on, but I use it up easily. And I also use the Mario Badescu Botanical Exfoliating Scrub. I use that really quickly, so those are done. The things I didn't use up, and I did say I was predicting this, I've got a few masks in here. So the Rose Face Mask from Fresh, I've only used that I think twice, so there's still heaps left. Heaps is... Look, there's still a lot in there. It's probably like still 2/3 in there. So I probably need to use it 4 more times in the next 3 weeks to use it up, but that's my goal. I didn't also use up my Origins Original Skin Mask. I really like this. So it's a little pink clay mask, but it does have little scrubby particles in it. So when you're applying it and rubbing it in, it's like slightly exfoliating the skin. Then you've got the clay mask element, and then when you wash it off, it slightly exfoliates as well. So I really like this. I've only used it once, but I used quite a lot of it, and I would consider repurchasing this. So I don't mind if it's going to take me ages to use this up because I kind of enjoy using it. So they say use 1 to 2 times a week. I think I used it once a month. So I'll use it more, but there's that. I've also got the Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream. I don't know if I actually had this in my samples from last month or if I just imagined I did because of this one. I don't know, but I haven't used that one up either. It's got a sheen to it. So it's like one of those like illuminating creams. There's not much left. It's sort of like a peachy, not peachy, it's a pinky sort of pearlescent color. And it does give a bit of a luminosity. Maybe I'll use it as like, look at it. Or maybe I'll use it like a primer. I don't know. I don't really like eye creams. They don't work for me, so I don't use them. And the last thing I haven't finished is the Trilogy Vitamin C Moisturizing Lotion, but I am down to here. So I have been using it a bit. I don't love this. It's got a really funky scent to it. I think vitamin C and I think oranges. This almost smells like dried flowers. It just feels, it smells a bit funky. So I want to get this done. I do have another one of these. So if I can get this done and get that one done and just burn through them. If I do that, it's because I'm using it on my body, but whatever. There's that. What I decided to add in, because I managed to wear 2 face masks, I thought I'll add in 2 more face masks. These are both from Secret Key. These are from a Yes Style Advent Calendar. I think I've got about 5 of these or 6 of these, so I may as well use 2. And then these samples of the Secret Key. I see a theme here. Lemon Sparkling Peeling Gel. I thought I can use these as well. I might use one of these tonight after I wash my face. It's one of those products, it's like that gel that you put on clean skin. It balls up and sort of slightly chemically and slightly manually exfoliates the skin. And I can probably use at least 1 or 2 a week. So I'll do that. Last 2 things, I've got a little Bioderma Atoderm cream. So this is a little 8 ml sample, which I can use. And I've got I don't even know what this is. It's the Exuviance Anti-Pollution Essence. I don't know. I've never heard of this brand before. I don't even know where I got this. I have no idea. So I'm going to try to use this essence. Anti-pollution, sure, I'll do it. So that's a full little vial. You're not going to see it properly. It's a sample. Who cares? So those are going back in my samples bag, ready to go so I can use them up in my bathroom. All right, so that is my December update for my #Team Project Pan. I hope everyone's going well with it. I know it's a weird time of the year, Christmas. I also know it's a weird time of our generation, a pandemic, to use products up. But again, look, if you don't want to use it up, don't have to do it. I get a lot of joy out of using products up, so I'm going to keep doing it. And again, next month I will have the conclusion of this where I check in with all the products that I've used up from the month, but also give you a tally of the products that I've used up throughout this whole project, throughout this whole year. And I'll also do the same thing with my empties. So when I get around to doing my empties, I'll sort of tally up how many sort of skincare items and how many makeup items and everything in total that I've used up. But that's going to be probably early January. So yeah, I want to say Happy Christmas because I don't know if I'll see you before Christmas. I might. My partner's going to be on holidays this coming week, so end of this week. So I'll have more time to film, which is great. I do want to do end of year favorites. I don't know if I want to do a December favorites as well. Let me know if you want me to split it and do a December favorites and an overall sort of 2020 favorites. I'm not too sure, but I'll try to get that done as well. And I will see you in the next one. See you guys.